Hello, welcome to July wrap up. It is time to talk about all the books I read in July, and I would love to hear from any of you who have read any of these, or what did you read about in July? Put it in the comments. I'm always so curious. What are other people reading? It's not all about me. I want to know what you guys are reading too. So if you don't mind, shoot me a comment on what did you read in July? Did you love it, hate it? I would love to know. So let's get into it. Normally I do 2 videos on my wrap-ups. Normally I do separate video for audiobooks versus physical books. I'm not doing that this month because I didn't do as much reading. I'm just gonna do the one wrap-up video and be done with it. So in July, I went on a working vacation. So I was traveling for pleasure, but I worked remotely the whole time. So not only was I traveling, but I was also trying to work, and I hardly had any time to read. So I did do some fun things. I'm in Arizona, and me and my family went up to Oregon, which is where we're all originally from. And we had a great time seeing friends and family up there. But it means I had less time to read, which is totally fine. I actually planned to have a smaller TBR this month, specifically because of that. So no worries, but let's get into it. Okay, so I have my handy dandy notebook where I write down my notes. So the first book I read was Jane Green. Can you see it? The Beach House by Jane Green. This one, I ended up DNFing this. And this one was part of my blind summer TBR, so I unwrapped this last month. And so I'm just gonna say right off the bat, there is a trigger warning that I know a lot of people do not like, okay? So that is infidelity. Everybody is cheating on everybody in this book. There are 2 couples and then there's a single guy, okay? Both couples are dealing with cheating, excuse me, and like talking about divorce or what are we gonna do kind of situation. And then you've got a single guy who's having an affair with a married woman. I'm sorry if that's a spoiler, but I know some people wouldn't pick this up if they knew that and don't want to read books that have tons of cheating. So that, I just want to get that out of the way. The reason I DNF'd this, this is a contemporary, it's a contemporary novel all about a woman named Nan who needs to find roommates. Her husband has passed away, and she just found out that she's running out of money. And her financial guy said, you need to sell your beachfront house. You need to get rid of that house because you can't afford it anymore. You're going to run out of money. And she's retired. And he's like, you're not going to be able to stay retired if you don't get rid of this house. Sell it. You'll make, I don't know, it's a beachfront. I think is it Nantucket or no, Martha's Vineyard? I think somewhere in there. I've never been to either of them, so I don't know. But he's like, you're gonna make like $1 million or millions, however much it is. So with this beachfront property, get rid of it. She doesn't want to get rid of it. She is incredibly lonely and she wants to have roommates. She misses the days back when her son was little. He's an adult now. And excuse me. She misses having the house full of kids when he'd have friends over during the summer and all that stuff. And so she decides to take on roommates. Well, unfortunately, okay, so I got, looks like about halfway. Exactly halfway is what it looks where I left my bookmark here. I just got to the point where I couldn't tolerate hearing about these couples that are cheating. And eventually I think some of them become her roommates, from what I understand how the book was progressing, which is fine. But I just got fed up hearing about all these marriages that are unraveling, and I don't know, to me, I don't really need all this drama to get me interested in a book. I was interested in Nan and her storyline. I wanted to know what's going to happen to Nan. Is she going to stop being lonely? Is she going to kind of like take these people in as tenants and they kind of become extended family to her? I wanted to know what was going to happen. And apparently there's a big secret that's revealed in here, which I didn't get to. I got fed up with all these cheating couples. So, yeah, for that reason, I didn't finish it. If you love the drama, this might be the book for you. It just wasn't for me. Okay, so that led me to reading, I did finish this one, M.W. Craven, Black Summer. This is book 2 in the Tilly and Poe detective crime series. It's all fiction, but this one is a thriller. I also classify it as horror because I read a lot of thrillers, and this is quite a bit, his books are pretty gruesome, at least in this series. So in my opinion, these are thriller horror, but they are classified as just thriller. So this one's about, so Detective Poe and his tech savvy partner, Tilly. Detective Poe's always getting himself in trouble. He's always on the verge of being fired from the force. And then Tilly has become his best friend. There's no romantic relationship here. They've just become best friends and workmates. She's on the tech side of the police work. She's always having to get Detective Poe out of all of his mishaps that he keeps causing. Meanwhile, in this case of Black Summer, Poe had solved a case and put a man in prison 6 years ago for murder. This man is serving a life sentence for murder. The man's in prison for murdering his teenage daughter. Well, 6 years later, she has turned up at a police office department and said, "I'm not dead. I've been locked in a closet for 6 years. I was never dead." That is all on the back of the book. It's not a spoiler. Just want to point that out. So now Poe his job's on the line again. Why did you put this man away for murdering his daughter if she's not dead? But something's not adding up. Something is not adding up about this girl that showed up at that police station. So this was so freaking good. Oh my gosh. I think I like this better than the first book. And this is the second book. So I can't wait I own books 3 and 4. And I can't wait to solve more crimes with Tilly and Poe. Oh my God, 5 stars. By the way, 5 stars all day long, 5 stars. Go read it if you can stomach some of the gross descriptions of dead bodies and stuff. Go read it. So then I started to read this. This is Franz Kafka, The Trial. I got maybe a quarter of the way through this. And I also, for free through Libby, I was listening to one of his other books called The Castle, same author. This, by the way, was my Germany pick for the month. Kafka was actually Czech, but he was from Prague, but he wrote all in German, even though he spoke both languages. So here's the problem. I got like a quarter of the way between this and then the audiobook of The Castle, and I found out that Kafka never wanted either of these novels to be published. He told his best friend on his deathbed, "You are to burn my manuscripts when I die." And the friend, as soon as Kafka died, he immediately published 3 manuscripts. And that's exactly the opposite of what Kafka wanted. Those were the opposite of his wishes. And so I found that I cannot finish this book. I feel like I'm reading someone's diary and I'm going against their wishes. after they died. I don't know. I feel very awkward about it. So I DNF'd this. I didn't give it a rating or anything. I really want to finish it because it's about a man that gets arrested and no one will tell him what he's been convicted of. He doesn't know. And so this is considered like an epic masterpiece. And now I feel like I can't read it. So I don't know. What would you do? Would you finish it or not? I don't know. I don't know if I can finish it. So what I did instead is I have on hold at the library one of his books that he wrote before he died that he did mean to publish. So I'm gonna read one of his other books. So this one I had to DNF it. So after that, I read for my in-person book club, we all read The Mad Wife by Megan Church. Yes, Church. This one I absolutely loved. Not everyone in my book club loved this, but I was enthralled with this book. I thought it was great. So this one, we have an unreliable, unhinged narrator, female narrator. It's all about these 1950s housewives and what their life is like, what they're going through in life. And there is a trigger warning at the beginning of this book. The author gives a trigger warning. Basically, it's about mental health. Like, if you don't think you can handle this, don't read it. And I agree. I did feel triggered a little bit by this, but I decided I had to keep reading it. I wasn't so triggered that I couldn't continue, but I do feel like if mental health can be a trigger for you, maybe think about it first, because you are fully immersed in the mind of this woman who's having mental health issues, etc. I found it's an infuriating read. Okay, I was angry throughout most of this book. How women were treated in the 1950s, even the men. Everyone had to be perfect, have this perfect persona so that they would fit in with, the neighborhood, moms and dads, husbands and wives, and etc. And heaven forbid you have a mental health issue of any kind, because in the 1950s, they just judged you like crazy and they did not have any really good treatments. And so that's the trigger right there. But what I loved about this is the author did such a good job of fully immersing you into the 1950s. I felt like I was in the 1950s, hanging out with these housewives. I felt like I could just step into the book and be transported to the 1950s. I love it when authors can do that. I feel like it's kind of hard to achieve, but she did such a good job. I will read anything this woman writes. She's on my list now. I'm gonna keep going. I think she's written at least a few other books. Yeah, The Last Carolina Girl and The Girls We Sent Away are at least two that she's written. So other than this, so yeah, I gave this 5 stars. Other people in my books club said 4 and maybe 3 stars. I liked it more than anyone else because I just love being fully immersed, and I do love a mental health story, especially told by a woman from a different time. I just love that. So great, 5 stars. I loved it. I'm going to be mailing this to my friend. She's not on BookTube, but she's my bestie in Oregon. I'm going to be mailing this back to her so she can read it. I was actually reading this a little bit of the time while I was in Oregon, and I'm like, oh, you've got to read this. Okay, so next up. Okay, so the next 2 are TBR picks from my TBR jar when I go upstairs and choose out of my TBR jar. So the prompt for this book was a book with a long title, 5 or more words. So this is Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter by Heather Fawcett. I was beyond elated when I bought this book and it showed up in the mail, and it has all these adorable cats, and I do love cats. So I just love, I just love the cover. I think it's so adorable. So this one is a cozy fantasy. It's set in Montreal, and there is what I would call a closed door romance. I would say no spice. It's more of a flirtation, kind of getting to know each other, not sure if we want to date, kind of romance type thing. So I thought it was sweet. And then we've got magicians wreaking havoc. So the book starts out, it's all about, we're getting to know Agnes and her cat shelter, and she's describing and introducing us to all of her cats. Like, they all have different personalities and stuff, but they're not like magical. The cats themselves, they're just regular cats that she's rescued, and she's just trying to, keep the doors open, keep the cats fed. She runs a charity. This is her life, but then the problem is she's trying to rehouse her cats and herself because the building she lives in has been partially destroyed by magicians. So she's looking for a place to live. And so magicians in this book are, okay, when I think of a magician, I'm thinking like, I can't think of any names, but like, you pay money to go see a magic show, and it's all smoke and mirrors, and it's just for fun. Obviously, no real magic. This is talking about real magicians. Like, there are really people in this world who are magical magicians. And sometimes they accidentally blow up buildings and stuff. So, that's kind of what happened to her. So, meanwhile, stuff happens. Now, I want to say the beginning, the first 100 pages, I really liked this book. 4, even 5 stars. But then when you get to the middle, and this is like only 350 pages, but I'm telling you, it felt like more than that, because the middle of the book is all about Agnes getting to know some magicians, and there's like a mystery, like, why are these magicians, why do they keep coming into her life, and like weird stuff going on she's trying to figure out. And so we've got an adventure in there, but I felt like it just got really slow in the middle of the book. Then the last third of the book picks up. Things start to happen and there's more going on. So I found it interesting again. So for that reason, let's see, what did I give this one? I gave this a 3.5. On Goodreads, I rounded it up to a 4 because of the extra cuteness. Because the inside of the book it's not just that the artwork has cats. The inside it's all about the cats too. Like, the cats are doing funny, silly, crazy things all throughout this book. Can you imagine the chaos of having a shelter full of cats, and now you've got these magicians doing crazy things, and the chaos that could ensue? Yeah. So yeah, I rounded it up to a 4. It was really cute, and it's just a feel-good, fun adventure book. I could see this becoming a movie, no problem. So yeah, but personally, I thought it was a 3.5. I couldn't give it a 3. I just felt like if I had to choose between 3 and 4, I would give it a 4. So that's what I did on Goodreads. So yeah, I thought this was adorable. I was hoping it would be 5 stars, and it wasn't. But don't we always hope we're gonna have a 5-star book? Yeah. I would definitely read more from this author though. This was good. I did enjoy it. It was good. Okay. All right. After that, okay. So, like I said, I was busy traveling this month. I didn't get to read this book, and I'm super sad about it. So the minute I have some time, I'm going to insert this back into my TBR, whether it's August or September, October. It'll get rolled over onto one of my upcoming TBRs. I just don't know when. It would just depend, like, okay, I have some extra time, I can squeeze this one in. Especially if I DNF a book, a lot of times I'll use one of my rollover books that are waiting. That's when I'll squeeze one in. So if I have a DNF coming up, this will probably get added back in. So this is Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone, and the prompt was a series. So this is book 1 of a mystery, I think it's mystery series. And yeah, I don't know anything about it other than I wish I could read it. I really wanted to read this one really bad. Okay, so the last physical book is Pat of Silverbush by L.M. Montgomery. This is a classic. It's a coming of age. I'm annotating it because it's a classic, which slows me down. I didn't even have time to touch this in the month of July. So this will be rolling over to August. I'm just gonna put that away. And so for physical books, that's all I have. I just have 3 audiobooks. And there's a 5-star in here, so I need to talk about it. So The Butcher of Aberdeen. This is a NetGalley e-arc audio arc that I received from NetGalley. 5 stars. It was so good. It's by Rohe Augustin. I'm sorry if I pronounced the name wrong. I do want to say right off the bat, there is a trigger warning that I have for you. This definitely has a lot of spice, okay? Here and there, salt and peppered throughout the book. And then we have essay in here, which is always so hard to read about, but this is based on a true story. It's based on factual events. So, and maybe that makes it even harder to read, knowing that some of the stuff really happened, but I just want to put that trigger warning in there. This is classified as a horror. It is true crime, and it's a story of unhinged female rage. This is about a woman who murders her boyfriend because he won't marry her. She gets mad and she kills him because of that. And there were all kinds of signs, like she was violent towards men basically her whole life, and no one ever pressed charges or did anything about it. So when she ends up murdering someone finally, she has I don't think she had a record. Like, no one really saw it coming, even though there were signs, there were red flags. So I feel like the moral of this story is report it. Even if it's a woman that is abusing, report it. Okay. So this true story happened in Australia. And this is a newer author. I think Rohe Augustin has only written a couple books. I would love to see more books from her. Like I said, I gave it 5 stars. Audiobook was great. Narrator was great. Everything was great. So check this out if it doesn't hit your triggers. Okay. So second audiobook, there's 3. So 2 more to go. So The Brides. This was another NetGalley audio arc that I reviewed. This one's by Charlotte Ross. I gave this one 3 stars. This is a gothic horror retelling of Dracula. I was even thinking maybe it's more of a prequel to Dracula, because I would say I would call it a prequel to Dracula, or you could call it retelling. Whichever. My issue with this was I really liked the story. I thought it was well thought out. The narrator was actually really good. Really, really, really good. The voices, the accents, everything was amazing in this book by the narrator. My problem with it was the pacing. It's a slow-paced book, and I think that I probably should have anticipated that because this is Gothic. It's supposed to be written in the same type of pacing as the original Dracula, I would assume. But I was really bothered by how slow the pacing was. If it wasn't for the slow pacing, this probably would have been a 4 stars for me. So if you have more patience and are and knowing to like thinking to yourself, okay, I'm going to take a little extra time with this book, and then you may give it a 4, you know, who knows. So I just want to put that out there. So I thought it was really good. I needed it to pick up the pace a little bit, but 3 stars. Okay, so now we have the final book. This one I listened to through the Libby app for free. It's The Duke and I by Julia Quinn. It is the first book in the Bridgerton series. I've never seen the show on Netflix, but I've always wanted to give the books a chance and then go watch the show. So I did like it. This one got a 3 stars, but it's not my genre. This is a romance, okay? It is mainly romance, but there's also a lot of humor. So I found that I was nowhere ever even near DNFing it, which normally I would do with a straight up romance. I will DNF that any day of the week. But there were so many cute, quirky, funny things in here that I kept listening and gave it 3 stars. So I did enjoy it. We've got the Regents era drama. So like think Jane Austen timeline. And there's just all these characters are putting in these dramatic situations. And then there's a lot of spice. I also want to point that out. There's spice in here throughout the whole book, sprinkled in here and there and everywhere. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It was a 3 stars for me. If you're really into this kind of thing, maybe higher than that. I don't know. But yeah, for me, it was the humor that kept me going, not so much the romance. The stories were, I thought, very well thought out, fun. Well, I say stories. It's one storyline, but I mean like the character development and the setting and everything I felt was really great. So yeah, it was good. It was good. So, but will I continue reading these? Probably not. I think I'm just going to go ahead and watch the TV show, because to me, this would be a TV show that I probably would like, but I'm really not into reading. So, okay, well, that's it. That's my whole July wrap up. We're done. What did you read? What did you like reading? What did you dislike reading? Let me know. Have you read any of these books? Anything you want to comment, go ahead. Please feel free to like and subscribe. I would love to subscribe back if you have a channel. If not, it's okay. Either way. Well, you have a great August, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.